This is what's left of 2 trees that came crashing down on George Johnson's home after last week's storm. This week, crews came out to clean up.
The MassDOT throughout this project has considered a lot of different locations for the new exit between Westfield and Lee. They've been whittling them down slowly, with the one in Otis most recently taken off the table. So now there's only 2 options left. Both of them are here in Blandford. One is at the service station along the Pike. The other one roughly 2 miles down the road near a maintenance facility. And as this project moves forward, I wanted to speak with residents who live near the Mass Pike to get their feelings on what they want to get across to transportation officials ahead of tonight's meeting. Tonight's open house starts at 6:30 and goes until 9. That's at the Blandford Town Hall. And just to give you an idea of how far in the future the MassDOT is looking with this project, I pulled some of their documents off their website and found they were citing traffic studies that were looking at how traffic could be affected in the year 2040. Reporting live in Blandford, Audrey Rousseau for Western Mass News.
I want you to take a look at this big black spot where graffiti used to be. Now, the Parks Department was here earlier today painting over that graffiti. We spoke with one family who lives nearby, and they say they were shocked something like this was done. Sarah D'Amato and her family. Officer Wilkes says if you come to Nash Park and see graffiti or feel uncomfortable, just go ahead and give police a call. Live in Chicopee, Sarah Gurnelli, Western Mass News.
Clean it off completely. Keyword completely, Beth. Of course, you need to have your front windshield clear of any ice and snow that piles up so you can see properly, but then you also need your side windows cleaned off, your mirrors, your headlights should be visible for other drivers, but the one area that a lot of people seem to forget about, and it might be the most important, is cleaning off your roof.
This is New England and everyone's in a hurry.
Start of the winter season.
I hope that my coworker appreciates this. Listen, whatever kind of tool you use, it is so important to make sure, again, your entire car is clear. You definitely do not want any of that snow or ice piled up on your roof, not only for your own safety, but for the safety of other drivers out on the road. Live in Springfield, I'm Caroline Powers for Western Mass News.
Caroline, I just hope that that's my car.
Sarah?
Chris, right now you are taking a look at crime scene tape. Now, this is not the scene where the body was found. That was actually down this alleyway towards this apartment building. Investigators say a maintenance man came outside, and that's where he discovered what they say is a 21-year-old man. Now, this was what the scene looked like when our Western Mass News crews arrived. Police tell us the victim was found shot several times.
Moving around the plane, reps with the Experimental Aircraft Association say they're constantly inspecting the aluminum overcast B-17. 50 in all are signed up to take the flight in the vintage plane at Barnes in Westfield, according to the tour coordinator. They'll say, I'll still fly if I still have a seat. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there's a couple reasons. One is that so many people have some type of a family connection to Army aviation, and the other is that the aircraft is maintained to the same standards as any other commercial passenger carrying airplane.
Stephen Silva was confident that World War II buffs know the extent to which the plane is maintained. But in the wake of last week's deadly B-17 crash at Bradley Airport, he says EAA members are prepared to answer any questions their riders have.
We're always prepared to answer questions that people may have about flying on the airplane, where they sit, how they sit, seat belts, all those types of things.
How many hours do you have flying a B-17?
Flying the B-17, probably 800.
The B-17's pilot noted the tragedy, but hopes it won't stop those passionate about World War II history from enjoying one of the last flying fortresses capable of living up to its name.
It's hard to even talk about something like that, but yeah, there's risks in everything we do, and just the risk of driving out to this airport. Statistically, if you just look at it statistically, it's probably a higher risk.
One of the event volunteers says he believes in the safety of the aluminum overcast.
The maintenance these aircraft undergo is incredible. It's extensive, it's severe, and to have incident that happened a week ago, it's really an unusual event.
Even as others have doubts.
If offered a seat, I will go.
What's normally the busiest time of the year for King Ward has resulted in the business temporarily shutting down. The buses here lined up with nowhere to go, and 50 employees now without a job.
We've lost considerably, probably about 2/3 of our business for the whole year.
Dennis King, president of King Ward Coach Lines, tells Western Mass News his Chicopee-based company is close to his heart, and he was worried he would get emotional during this interview, talking about the moment he had to lay off 50 employees.
No sleep, sick to your stomach, and hope that you can get everybody back as soon as you can.
King says the coronavirus pandemic is hitting his company hard, causing them to shut down in what is normally their busiest time of the year.
This time of the year, we're running sold out almost every single day. Field trips to Boston, New York City, Washington, D.C., multi-bay trips down to the casinos. College athletics are real big for us. Unfortunately, that's gone. High school trips, elementary school, they're all gone. Everything is gone, and it's devastating.
King says he's been in the business for over 30 years, but the company has been in the community for much longer, and he hopes to keep it that way.
We're being as optimistic as we possibly can to get everybody back on the road, and you know, people are going to have cabin fever, and I can feel it. It's, you know, once everything starts opening up, they're going to want to go somewhere and do something.
He says many people are looking at ways to help airlines, cruise ships, and hotels financially, but the motor coach industry is taking the back burner.
We're forgotten. We're part of the forgotten industry, and there's a lot of us in the country that are all in the same boat.
But for now, he's doing everything he can to make ends meet.
You're looking at every penny, every dollar that is coming in. You're stretching it as far as you can. Everybody's working together to try to get everybody through this. I mean, last night we had...
King says they have a 6-month recovery period, and they've applied for small business loans in order to get by. But he says that King Ward is still taking phone calls, and if anyone needs anything, to reach out. Live in Chicopee, Lindsay Kane, Western Mass News.
Subsidized fares. PVTA plans to start charging riders on Sunday, July 19th. As soon as Sunday, but definitely keep you guys posted on whether or not that will change. Taylor, you spoke with PVTA officials who told us they're really... Huh?
Both moving.
Oh, do you want to reset up?
No, just step this way, son. Right there, good stop.
Taylor, we spoke to PVTA officials who tell us they're willing. Taylor, it is hot, it is humid. I mean, the moment you step outside, you are like, woo! You are feeling this temperature, and you can even tell on my forehead it's a little bit shiny, so that's kind of telling us to what we're going to see today. Now, health experts are saying so you have the darker root, which kind of fades down to a lighter end.
Showing off the roots, the middle part.
A lot of people prefer to wear their hair down with some really nice soft curls in it, just to give it a little bit of bend and a little bit of texture.